Welcome to BuzzBooster.tv.
I'm Shahar.
And I'm Nash.
And this show is brought to you by
GoToMeeting.com.
You know, on today's show, we are going to talk about how to become uber present in social media.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a cool tip about audiobooks.
Yep.
And the question, are you driving yourself into extinction?
Are you?
Enjoy. So, continuing our conversation on how you become irresistible to your market.
Yes.
You have people really coming to you. There's one more step. We already talked about, you know, creating your irresistible promise, unveiling your core story, your unique voice, mystique and rituals. Now you have to become uber present. Well, what does it mean? It means that
present everywhere.
Everywhere, all the time.
But how do you do that though as a business owner? Because you can't waste all of this time.
Yeah, just imagine this scenario. And we are talking about social media here because social media, in this case, can help you quite a bit. It allows
you to become uber present.
But if you spend 30 minutes on Facebook, then an hour on Google+, then who knows how long on Pinterest, and then, you know what happens?
Like, when do you work?
You don't work. Yeah. And you gotta work because your business is about bringing sales and profits, right? So what do you have to do? Yes, you have to be everywhere. And why is that? Because the consumer today is everywhere. They are where they feel comfortable. And you as a business owner needs to be there talking to them. But you're going to use a lot of automation. Yes. Right?
That's key. Automation.
What you're going to have is really robot softwares that will help you broadcast your message everywhere.
Yep.
Okay? You're going to pay attention to the ones where you get more traction, where people interact more with you. Those you still have to be there, show your face, talk to them, be transparent, and all the other things. But then you have to be everywhere all the time, and you can use automation for that.
That's right.
There is no choice anymore.
Nope.
Let me tell you two things happening right now.
Tell me.
If you use Facebook and you go to Bing to do a search.
Oh, yes.
Look what happens. You're going to see what your friends are searching there.
Yes.
Okay, the search engine is changing to social in many levels. If you ever heard us speak, you saw that we already have been talking about these things for quite a while. But the fact is now that they think that if you're connected with someone and you pay attention to this person, you want to see what they are saying and recommending. So the search engine is popping that up.
Whoop.
Yeah, so
you come up.
What happens then on Google?
What?
Let's suppose you're using Google+. Okay. Okay, you have people that are interested in what you're talking and they circle you. They put you in their groups. Okay? When they go to Google and
let's do this.
Okay.
So Shahar, I'm doing a search. Actually,
small business marketing.
Small business marketing. I'm on Google Plus, and I see you, and you talk about small business marketing. I think this is interesting, so I put you in a circle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Tomorrow, I need to figure out how to market my business. I go on Google and I search small business marketing.
Yes. What happens?
What happens?
Well, because she chose to have me in her circle.
Because I circled her.
I will show you more prominently than maybe sites that spend thousands and thousands of dollars in SEO.
That's right. So normally maybe Shahar could have come up on the second page, or on the third page, or whatever, which it's not really the case, but let's just assume. So then, because I circled her the day before, and I create this little search now, because I circled her, she comes up at the top, or near, or close to the top, where I will see her now.
Exactly. But of course, not only the keyword small business marketing would be showing. In fact, if I blog about things, if I blog about marketing to boomers, how to go far in your business, all kinds of little keywords that you use when you're producing content, and as a business owner, you should be producing content online. Well, if she's searching for something relevant, let's say you didn't read my blog post,
pretty much
but I blogged about boomers and you wanted to know more about them.
So I type boomers and up she comes. So pretty much anything that I search for that she talks about in her profile, she'll come up.
Exactly.
And by her profile, I mean her blogs, because she's adding her blogs to Google+,
videos, her shows,
videos, everything that has content that she's producing.
Yeah.
And so two things really that you should think about. One is, should I be creating content? The answer is yes. And two, should I be on Google+? Yes.
Yes. Again, and even on Facebook, right? Because you impact findability, right? You show less on Bing, you show less on Google+. If you're just thinking, oh, I paid this company to do SEO, because even SEO is changing.
Yeah.
Okay, not only that, the more important part here is you're going to be where your customers are and your prospects are all the time. And
Yes.
here's the principle you have to live by in today's age. Okay, it doesn't work anymore that people just come to you or they find your website or they knock at your door or the yellow pages.
No.
You do need to be marketing, and yes, there is a cost of time and money in that, but of course if you use social media, you can leverage time and money quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Yes, so you know, think about this. Think about what you're doing right now to be uber present, to be everywhere, right? What could you be doing better?
But don't forget, with automation, so we don't want you to be everywhere wasting your time, okay?
Yeah,
Keep that in mind.
and work smart.
Yes,
we talked about Pinterest last week. Okay, it's an awesome tool. I was telling her this morning, right, that how many new sites I found in the last 2 days as a result of looking at pictures on Pinterest. Because I was searching for keywords that interest me, and believe me, there are other things other than market that interests me. And I found cool stuff. I clicked on the picture, I visited their websites. I would never really find them, you know, because unless I was really digging inside the search engine, which would be boring, and Pinterest is not. So, you know, you can go there, set your stuff, set your products there, create those links, and really forget you don't have to be going there all the time if you don't want to.
That's right.
Yeah. So don't you get tired sometimes of all this technology in between people, like teleseminars, conference calls, and things like that? I think you think that's the only way to talk to people today.
That's right. It's like you just hear their voices over and over again, but really you don't know who you're talking to.
And you know, seeing the face is so important.
It's crucial.
You can see the body language, of course.
Yeah.
Right? You can see how the conversation is going. Yeah.
It's like if I say something, did she like it? Did you like it? How did they react to it?
If you're somebody like me that has an accent, you can make life easier to other people because they can see your lips.
I can see.
Yeah. And if you're someone like me that is a foreigner, it also helps to see other people's face, because sometimes I lose something in translation and I can see their mouths moving, right?
Yeah.
So it's just...
She doesn't really lose things in translation, she just likes to say that.
Oh yeah, sure, I know. Well, now the point is, it's really, really important to have that personal contact, even when you're doing that over a computer.
Absolutely.
But how do you do that?
To really put a face to a name.
Exactly. Well, you know, there is a software, a company called GoToMeeting.
GoToMeeting.
Where they allow you to have
face-to-face
face-to-face in HD.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that creates again that personal connection and everything that we just talked about. It's a real cool company. We use that ourselves and makes life a lot easier and a lot more fun too. Let's say, by the way. Yeah. So I want to recommend to you GoToMeeting.com. What do they have to do?
You know what? Actually, our listeners get 30 days free trial. So go to GoToMeeting.com, click on the Try It Free button, and put the promo code podcast. Don't forget, promo code podcast, you get 30 days free trial, and you get to benefit from all that we just talked about.
Yes, exactly. So GoToMeeting with HD faces couldn't be cooler than that. GoToMeeting.com.
Hey, so, alright, so today my tool isn't so much a tool, it's more of a self-improvement thing, right? So, here's the thing, Sean and I were talking about this like all of last week, and it's almost like we don't spend enough time to think. Like, to really stop and think about your business, think about new strategies. Oftentimes, we catch ourselves just focusing on tasks, like tasks, but not enough time to just sit and really analyze what's going on and think of new strategies. So, here's my tip to you this week, and that is, there's a great resource out there, we've had it for a while, they're called audiobooks. So, if you don't have enough time to read, which amazingly that happens quite a bit, download audiobooks. There are tons of them on different topics, business, marketing, self-improvement, anything. Download the ones that interest you. Anytime you find yourself in a situation where you're just wasting time, or it's just idle, like you're driving or you're standing in line, things that you can't use for anything else, well, hey, pop up that audiobook, plug it in your iPod, put it in your car, whatever. Listen to it while you're standing in line, while you're driving. So make sure that you're constantly seeking knowledge, seeking new things, so that when you find yourself in a situation where you really have to think, you have to think, okay, how can I improve my business? How can I make more money? How can I market it better? When you're thinking these things, so then you have these new set of tools that were given to you through the various ebooks, audiobooks that you've been listening to, and now you can think strategically more than anything. So that's my tip to you.
Did you ever stop to think if you or your employees are not taking your business or profession into extinction? Because I think many of us are. You just have to go out there and try to shop, and you're going to see the huge disservice some people are doing to their own business or to the business where their money comes from. For example, and you know, it happens all the time, and I think it's funny because we hear a lot about shopping local, and I'm all for that. I always go local if I have the choice to. But look what happened in one day in my life. I went to a bookstore. I usually go to bookstores to buy magazines. There are several of them that I like. But that day specifically, I was looking for a very specific book. I went to the store, go to the information thing where they are supposed to help their customers with the computers and everything, and the lady's there stacking some books around the station, and I asked her, do you have this book, blah blah blah, and she, without looking at me, not even once, without standing up from the floor where she was stacking, said, it's someplace way there in the back, you can take a look, or if you don't find it, you can go online. And I kept thinking, oh my gosh, you know, there is no faster way to get into extinction than this, right? She didn't take the time. I'm a person coming inside the store, wanting to spend money that will feed into her salary, and she doesn't have the time to stand up, look me in the eye, or even worse, really show me where the book is, because way there in the back with a big bookstore is kind of weird, right? There are like 10,000 aisles over there in the back. So it's just stupid. So she should be better trained for sure, but she also should be supervised, because this is taking money away from the business. It's just unacceptable. And then on the same day, I went to Joann, you know, former Joann Fabrics, and I went there to look to some stuff. And I needed a special kind of felt that should be in the upholstery department. So I'm there and I'm going around with the car like for a good 3 or 4 minutes, nobody there. Very, very tough to find an employee. I could hear voices in the back behind one of the walls there, but I could not reach them. So I was there trying to find the thing, and at the same time trying to talk to an employee, but such a thing never happened. So I go to the counter to check out, and I have some other stuff, and the woman at the counter says, so, did you find everything all right? And I said, no. And she goes, uh-oh, that's bad. And that was the end of the conversation. She didn't ask what I was looking for. She didn't try to see if they had it, because yes, maybe they are out of something, but she doesn't know that. Most likely I just didn't know where the product was. She couldn't care less. She just said, so I keep thinking, why they even ask that if they're not going to take any action? Again, why should I come here? I could go online with a click of a button, but then your job would be on the line. And the last thing I did that day was go to a supermarket, right? It's a new supermarket in town, local supermarket, very, very cool, by the way. And I bought all this kind of vegetables, right? Go to the checkout line. The girl's extremely nice, so is the other girl that is packing the things. But then she gets a kale and she goes, what is this? I never saw this in my life. Then she gets a radish and she does the same thing. She couldn't figure the code or anything, but she also didn't know what that thing was. And I even looked at her and I said, but you work here every day, right? And she said, yes. And people do buy vegetables, right? Yes. And you never saw these? No, I never. And then finally, the girl that was doing the packaging, she gets the coconut, I got a coconut, and she comes to me and says, is this how it looks inside of a coconut? And I said, yes, and it's even cooler when you put a hole on that and start drinking the water. Well, she also never had seen there. My question when I left the place was, and understand this, they were very nice, okay? They were very nice, but Shouldn't they be better trained to know the products they are selling? Shouldn't they even be able to give me some tips on how I could use those products? Yes, there are tons of products inside the supermarket, but if you're there, if you're working there, you should be trained to at least know the products that the company you work for is selling. So again, ask yourself if in your business or you yourself, you're not putting yourself in extinction, because then you're going to complain that everybody wants to go online because it's cheaper. I question that. Okay, it's just becoming very hard to not shop online. Okay, so train your people better and revisit how you sell. Wow, lots of good information this time too, right?
That was great.
Yes, there's just one more thing they need to do.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, make sure that they take action so they can meet us in May 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Salt Lake City.
That's
where
right.
we are going to have the Extreme Income Explosion Summit. You know, we have some of the best speakers ever.
We do.
There, right?
We're putting this event together. It's coming up soon, and we really love you to join us. We have an awesome lineup of speakers. I mean, we've got a variety of topics, really. So we've got Lee Phillips, we've got Katarina Rando, Diane Conklin, Michelle Sizem, BuzzBoosters, Joe Lublin, and
Michelle Says.
Yeah. So we're going to talk. It doesn't stop. We're going to talk about Facebook. We're getting Facebook marketing. We're going to talk about how to go far, go fast, go big.
Yes.
We're going to talk about protecting your assets. We're going to talk about public speaking. So really things that can truly help propel your business into success.
Yes, and if you're that kind of person that is thinking, so what exactly I'm going to get out of this? Well, I can tell you one thing. You're going to be able to think big and strategically about your business. You're going to be able to leverage what you do so you can work less and make more. You will be able to achieve in the next 6 months more than you did in the last 6 years. This is no small potatoes, okay? So don't bring excuses that, you know, Salt Lake is too far or I cannot take time from my business. You should be working on your business, and you have to take time in order to work on your business. So what do you have to do right now?
Go to extremeincomeexplosionsummit.com and sign up. That's all it takes.
Yeah, all it takes, one click, and we'll see you in May.
See ya.